Good evening, folks. It is Wednesday afternoon, 7:10 in the evening. If you haven't seen the other video yet, welcome. We're about to make Yorkshire puddings, or a large Yorkshire pudding, to go with the chili sin carne that I made last night. Let's get into it. Let's look at the ingredients first. Okay, as usual, I'm a bit cramped for space and everything's a bit of a mess. But here we got some water, 540 grams roughly, or 540 millilitres of water that's going to become milk when I add the powder. We got 3 eggs, and we're going to use 300 grams of flour. And that's it. Them's your ingredients. Maybe a pinch of salt. Pepper if I had any. I think it's all gone. But that's it. Let's go on with it. Okay guys, for ease I've put the water into this pan. I'm going to add some of the powdered milk. Not too much, but just, should have got a bit lower, right? But enough to turn it white. And we'll judge the consistency when we get there. Maybe a little bit more. That'll be fine. $300 grams or thereabouts of flour. There might just be a little bit less here. I can always spray a bit more in later if we need it. But we're cooking. It's not chemistry. It's not science. It's art. We can vary the numbers to suit our needs. That goes into my mixing bowl, which you might think looks like a pan. Hey, you might be right, you might be wrong, who knows. If you had a sieve, you would sieve that, but I don't, so I can't and I won't. Okay. Okay guys, that's 3 eggs, which I will now beat. 3 beaten eggs, which I'll now add to the milk. And I will mix thoroughly. Left-handed, which isn't my best, but you know, I'm trying to include it in the video as much as possible. Some things I need 3 hands, therefore I have to put the camera down. Okay, put a well in the middle of the flour, is what they say. I don't think it makes any difference. Sounds like voodoo to me. Boom, and add about half of the liquid to begin with. Okay. I've just lost the remnants of my bag of flour. I think this is one, guys, I'm going to need my hand. I'll be back with you shortly. And you're back with me. As you can see, it's mixed quite well. Not sure if this pan's going to be big enough for me to put the rest in, but we'll give it a go. Okay. We've got a bit of water on the table, but no worries. Now that's a little bit thinner than... That's a little bit thinner than I would like. So because it's a bit thinner than I would like, I've rescued the remnants of the flour. I'm going to try and add a bit more. That's all there is in that particular bag, so it'll have to do. However we end up here is how we're going to end up. Tina, no. No. Tina? Dog interrupt us. Okay folks, it's still a little wetter than is ideal, but It'll just take longer in the oven if it's too liquidy. No big deal. I probably do have a bit extra flour. Let me go and see if I can grab some. Okay guys, oh, the wind's just picking up just as I'm about to scoop some flour. Let's just see if it dies down. I'll risk it. 2 spoons. What do you think? Should be enough? That's more like it. Sorry, bad camera work as usual, guys. Maybe one more scoop. I'll have to remember this the next time I do this recipe, that the measurements are off. Maybe it's because my powdered milk was too watery. Possibly I could have added another egg. It is as it is. That's looking more like it now. Okay, and then we're going to leave this to stand for between quarter of an hour and half an hour. So all the best recipes say, I have no idea whether it makes any difference or not. But all the best recipes for Yorkshire pudding say it has to stand. Some say for an hour, some say overnight, but I've seen some that say quarter of an hour or half an hour. I have to be a little bit conscious of the time. We're going to lose the light in an hour or so. Maybe a bit more. Okay, I'm going to cover that with this plate. All cack-handed obviously because it's me. And I've got a bit of tidying up to do. Lids to put back on. Eggs to throw away. That's it for now, guys. See you in quarter of an hour, maybe half an hour. Going to sit down and have a glass. More on that in a video to come. Probably come out about the same time as this one. We'll see. Watch out for that. Okay, folks, we're back. My grill pan is on. Roasting tin, whatever you want to call it, it's on. We're going to go over. And we're going to get things going. Now, I may have to put this on the ground a second. You see my rack here, the shelf. I wanted to get the fat hot, like so. Then, ouch, then put the shelf in. Something like so. Put this back over. We might need to just close it a second and bring it back up to temperature. Probably should have done that before bringing you over. I would have put the batter mix for the Yorkshire puddings, I would have put it here on the shelf. But if you see the other video, the chili sin carne video, you'll know why I can't trust this shelf with any kind of weight. And the reason is over there, smiling at us. Bloody dog. Keep hold of it. Let's see if we can't do it like this. Are you watching? You pour into a hot into the hot pan or the hot oil. And you want it hot. And you want to keep it hot as much as you can. Now, it would be nice to get the rest of this liquid out, but life might be too short. Okay. Sorry about the candid photography, guys. I'm a tramp, I live in a field. I'm new at all this. This is the first time I've cooked Yorkshire pudding here as well. It's not like I've had a practice run or anything. I don't have enough eggs and other things generally to be having practice runs. We're going to put this out of the way there. I'll put some water in the pan and give it a rinse later. If I put just a little bit of water in, I might be able to use it to try and make a pancake. Although the first pancake off is always bad. Just a note, Yorkshire pudding mix and pancake batter, British English pancakes, it's the same. It's exactly the same batter. You just cook it in a frying pan for pancakes and in a roasting tin in the oven for Yorkshire pudding. There's Tina. Gotta have traditions, guys. We're going to leave that. I've got it on full. I want to just monitor the temperature, not let it get too high. Somewhere around 200 is probably about right. Some would say 180, some would say 220. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. What are you talking about, Willis? Reference for the old folks there. Okay, maybe I'll turn it down now. It's going. Don't want to use. I've got to be protective of my gas. I've got to be protective of my gas. It won't last forever. I was pretty sure the bottle was on vapors when it was given to me by a guy called Roger, a friend of Damien's. And I've used it quite a lot, considering I thought it was on vapors. Fortunately, it's Repsol, and so is the garage just up there. Don't know if that's a Repsol garage. So shouldn't have any difficulty swapping it, eh? Hope not anyway, other than the price. No idea how much these cost. I've heard quotes of 13 or 14, and I've heard 20, 25. So I don't know. Anybody tell me? Anybody in the comments? That'd be appreciated. Okay guys, back shortly. I just had to run over here, guys, because there was smoke coming out. I turned it up to full and left it, and I was intending to do that for about 60 seconds just to boost the heat, and I forgot. So when I came back, there was black smoke coming out. Hopefully it was just the oil. I won't have another look. I had a quick look when I ran over. I'll give you a sneak peek. Look, it doesn't look bad. I think it's just... It might be burnt a little bit on the bottom. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully it's just the oil. That was stupid of me. That was totally stupid. Don't do that when you do it, eh? You guys try and do this in an oven so you're not doing it over direct heat like I am. Shh, don't say anything. But we got the police. Nudging around. Are we getting a visit? I think we might be. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe not today. Put the camera down. Oh, they're having a good long look. They were I didn't want them to see the camera, but they went past and they were just staring this way out of the window. Went by so slowly. I wouldn't be surprised if they turned back around. Let's see. Let's have a quick peek. It's not really rising yet, but did you see? I didn't know that. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's all right. There is a slight burnt kind of smell. I think we might have toasted the bottom a little bit much. I might have to find a way to lift that pan further up from the heat. So put that shelf in, but then, I don't know, maybe some ceramic tiles or a brick or something. Not a brick, but something like that. Something like a stone, a platform that I can raise. Raise the roasting tin a little bit higher off the heat. So it's more of an oven than sitting directly on a... At the minute it's like it's a pan sitting directly on the hob. We want more of a hot box oven kind of effect. I'll have to work on it. I've got things around here that might do. I just spotted, I've got this oven. I think it's the drip tray from the bottom of an oven, isn't it? Rather than a shelf, I think it goes in the bottom of an oven to catch the mess. Might be a little bit big. I'll find something like these ceramic tiles, these big. I don't know how heatproof they are. I'll think of something. Leave it with me. I'll do a better job next time. Not sure why the mixture was so liquidy. I don't know why I needed to put extra flour in. I followed the approximate. Well, I followed the recipe. I don't know. Maybe my flour was different. It was my flour was a whole meal, a whole grain flour. I would have thought that would make it thicker rather than looser. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a tramp. I live in a field. Later. I gave Tina the pan to clean out in the end. She'll make better use of the remnants of that batter than I would. Okay guys, quick sneak peek. You notice I've turned it around. You see it's a little bit black at this end, and I rotated it. That was the left. I thought I'd. You see those flames? This thing cooks a bit high even on its lowest setting, so I thought I would take the side that's had all the heat, move it away, and give the other side the heat for a little while. About another 5 minutes, and then we should be done. Okay, folks. Here's the final result. To be honest, it's a little bit non-standard. You would normally have it rise around the edges and be indented in the middle. This has come out a little bit different. It's all, I don't know if it's the powdered milk, I don't know if it's the different flour, I don't know. I think the base is going to be a little bit overdone. I'm just going to let it rest a little while. I'm just trying to bring the last night's chilli back up to temperature. Okay guys, as you can see I've loosened it from the bottom, and I've cut it into 4. To be honest, normally one this size you would probably cut into 6 or 8 usually. Typically I would imagine. But let me see if I can show you how bad we are or not. The bottom in this corner is a little bit toasty. It's a little more dense than you wouldn't expect it to be that dense. It's a little different. This is all a little, I wouldn't say substandard, but non-standard. Well, that end's even darker, look. But it's not, it doesn't go far in. It's only a crispy outer shell. Yeah, that end took the brunt of it, didn't it? It's still edible. Me and the dog will enjoy it. She'll probably get those bits. This isn't too bad. That's just golden brown. A little bit more golden than normal. Such is life. I'm a tramp. I live in a field. I think that was, I don't know, it's too dense. I shall consult a couple of alternate recipes, see what they recommend doing differently. 1 slice of Yorkshire Pudding, and we're going to pour over some chili sin carne, piping hot. How's that? That's for the thumbnail. Okay folks, I'm going to carry this over to the table. I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to come back and tell you my findings. Nearly dropped it on the way over to the table. That's typical. But it looks good, doesn't it? I'm going to enjoy this. I can tell. Check back later. Oh wow, my mouth's burning. Well, we know about the chilli. I reviewed that already in the previous video where I first made that. The Yorkshire pudding. Well, the bottom was crispy. A little bit crusty. The burnt didn't matter. It wasn't burnt. It didn't spoil anything. It was just a bit crunchy, but only a thin layer. The Yorkshire pudding itself was denser than it should have been. I'm going to suggest that I had maybe twice as much batter, twice as much mixture in there as the size of the pan would have been better with. So I'm going to redo that maybe this weekend. I'll do something more traditional, beef and Yorkshire pudding style thing. Obviously without the beef, I don't have meat. But I'll do. My original plan was to do a beef and onion gravy, and do Yorkshire pudding that way. I'll have a go this weekend, and I'm going to suggest that I use half as much flour and half as much milk, or water, in this case. Probably stick with the same number of eggs, 2 or 3 eggs, but half as much liquid, half as much flour. I think there was just too much in the pan, and I'll also have to do that I said about raising it above the heat, so it's not sat right on the flame. That flame in the grill there, in the barbecue, it's obviously far too much, even on its lowest setting, far too much for roasting. So I'll have to lift things above, lift them off the bone. But yeah, it's perfectly edible, really filling. And like I said, the chilli is really spicy, so I've got that good mouth burn going on. Tina's over there. She just finished. I gave her the remnants of a pan. Give her some in a pan to eat, so she's finished, and I'm just going to let her clean my plate. Hey babe. There she goes. Have to make sure she's got plenty of water for afterwards, because she's going to be drinking all night after that. Okay folks, we had some hiccups. Some things went right, some things went wrong. That's always the way here. But if you were to follow that same recipe, I'll put the recipe in the notes, in the description. I'll do the recipe as used, and I'll do the changes that I recommend based on how that turned out. Okay, Delta Mike, out.